Reading from the book of Exodus. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, "This month shall stand at the head of your calendar. You shall reckon it the first month of the year. Tell the whole community of Israel, on the 10th of this month, every one of your families must procure for itself a lamb, one apiece for each household. If a family is too small for a whole lamb, it shall join the nearest household in procuring one, and shall share in the lamb in proportion to the number of persons who partake of it. The lamb must be a year-old male and without blemish. You may take it from either the sheep or the goats. You shall keep it until the 14th day of this month, and then, with the whole assembly of Israel present, it shall be slaughtered during the evening twilight. They shall take some of its blood and apply it to the 2 doorposts and the lintel of every house in which they partake of the lamb. That same night they shall eat its roasted flesh with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. This is how you are to eat it: with your loins girt, sandals on your feet, and your staff in hand. You shall eat like those who are in flight. It is the Passover of the Lord. For on this same night I will go through Egypt, striking down every firstborn of the land, both man and beast, and executing judgment on all the gods of Egypt. I, the Lord. But the blood will mark the houses where you are. Seeing the blood, I will pass over you. Thus, when I strike the land of Egypt, no destructive blow will come upon you. This day shall be a memorial feast for you, which all your generations shall celebrate with pilgrimage to the Lord as a perpetual institution." The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Alzaré la copa de la salvación, invocando su nombre.
El cáliz te bendecimos, es la comunión de la sangre de Cristo.
Mucho le cuesta al Señor la muerte de sus bienes. Señor, yo soy tu siervo, hijo de tu esclava, rompiste mis cadenas.
El cáliz te bendecimos, es la comunión de la sangre de Cristo.
Seré un sacrificio de alabanza, invocando a tu nombre, Señor. Cumpliré al Señor mis votos en presencia de todo el pueblo.
El cáliz te bendecimos, es la comunión de la sangre de Cristo.
Lectura de la primera carta del apóstol San Pablo a los Corintios. Hermanos, yo recibí del Señor lo mismo que les he transmitido, que el Señor Jesús, la noche en que iba a ser entregado, tomó pan en sus manos y pronunciando la acción de gracias, lo partió y dijo: Esto es mi cuerpo que se entrega por ustedes. Hagan esto en memoria mía. Lo mismo hizo con el cáliz después de cenar, diciendo: Este cáliz es la nueva alianza que se sella con mi sangre. Hagan esto en memoria mía siempre que beban de él. Por eso, cada vez que ustedes comen de este pan y beben de este cáliz, proclaman la muerte del Señor hasta que vuelva. Palabra de Dios.
Te alabamos, Señor.
Reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Before the feast of Passover, Jesus knew his hour had come to pass from this world to the Father. He loved his own in the world, and he loved them to the end. The devil had already induced Judas, son of Simon the Iscariot, to hand him over. So, during supper, fully aware that the Father had put everything into his power and that he had come from God and was returning to God, he rose from supper and took out off his outer garments. He took a towel and tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and dry them with a towel around his waist. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Master, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered and said to him, "What I am doing you do not understand now, but you will understand later." And Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." And Jesus answered him, "Unless I wash you, you will have no inheritance with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Master, then not only my feet, but my hands and head as well." And Jesus said to him, "Whoever has bathed has no need except to have his feet washed, for he is clean all over. So you are clean, but not all." For he knew who would betray him. And for this reason, he said, "Not all of you are clean." So when he had washed their feet and put his garments back on and reclined at table again, he said to them, "Do you realize what I have done for you? You call me teacher and master, and rightly so, for indeed I am. If I, therefore, the master and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash one another's feet. I have given you a model to follow, so that as I have done for you, you should also do." The Gospel of the Lord.
I mentioned on Palm Sunday that so much of what we do in Holy Week deserves a lot of kind of commentary and explanation, and yet very much so it's meant to be experienced and lived. and maybe over time to understand all the various facets. But tonight I would draw attention to a couple of details about what we're doing. That we begin tonight this one celebration that spans 3 days. That we come into this celebration tonight of the Mass of the Lord's Supper, and we will not have a final blessing. Our celebration tonight will conclude with a procession of the Eucharist to the altar of repose, and we will spend time with the Lord as he was in the garden. Our celebration tomorrow to adore the cross opens with no greeting, go right into the prayers and into the readings, and concludes as well in silence. And we begin the celebration of the Lord's victory in the night of the Easter Vigil with the blessing of a fire. And finally, we come ultimately to the great singing of the glory again, and the ringing of the bells again, and into the great celebration of the sacraments of our salvation. The Church chooses to emphasize tonight especially the sign of love that Jesus gives to his disciples in washing their feet. And I think the wisdom in that is that we always need renewal, return to serving others. And that it is very difficult for us to accept the gift of humble service, especially from the Lord. And so our opportunity that we have tonight and throughout the Triduum is to walk with the Lord. How is he seeking to serve me? How is he seeking to serve you? And to change something in your heart that needs that gift of love. And that accompanies us through the celebration of his passion and death throughout tonight and tomorrow, and his burial. That how is he doing this to give a gift to me and to set me free? Perhaps like the disciples, these are signs to us that only really make sense later. Maybe we experience it one time or connect with it one time, but we really don't get it fully until much later. For them, it was not until after the resurrection that they understood. And I'll speak a bit more about the significance of what we celebrate in this Mass tonight.